Jordan, there was a viral video of you, bro. It
Yeah,
sparked a lot of interest, and I know you know the video I'm talking about. So,
of course.
the video of you is you intervened in an altercation where a man was apparently beating up his girlfriend, and you stepped in, man. And what I really love about that video, bro, is you showed compassion, you showed empathy. And the beauty about jiu-jitsu is it's one of the few martial arts on the planet where you can deal with an altercation in a more humane way. But can you break down what happened that night, man?
Yeah, yeah. So I was just walking my dogs at the park with my friend Zyra, who also trains jiu-jitsu with me. She's been on Medusa before, Zyra cousins. But me and Zyra trained jiu-jitsu. We were walking our dogs. It was a every normal every day. It was a little later at a park called Sunset Park here in Vegas, which is known to after dark kind of have some homeless people there and some troublemakers and not the best crowd, but like, it's still a nicer park, so we were walking our dogs around, and I heard a girl screaming, like a horror movie, like bloody murder, and I looked up. This girl was sitting down on her butt, and this guy was standing up, and when I looked up, the guy soccer kicked her in her face. She got knocked back and staggered, like, up to her elbow. He soccer kicked her a second time and lifted up his foot and stomped her in the head and then huddled over her and just started hitting her with, like, overhand rights over and over again when she's curled up in the fetal position. And that, mind you, I'm a good, 20-second jog away, like a couple 100 feet away. And there's other men there, which was the crazy thing to me. There's 4 or 5 other men within arm's reach, like close by. And they're just standing there, like open, like not doing anything. And so I immediately ran over to the guy. I thought I was going to hit him when he wasn't looking. He squared up with me. He dropped his hands down by his sides, and I took that because this all happened in a moment. I wasn't even thinking, I was on autopilot. When he brought his hands down by his sides like this, I seen him reaching into his right pocket. That's at least how my brain registered it in the moment. And I'm like, "Oh god, like this guy's pulling out a gun or a knife." And so I grabbed his hand and I pulled his hand like straight down to the floor, and that bent his posture over a little bit and put his neck in front of me. And so I just jumped on his neck and snatched the rear naked choke. And when we fell down, I trapped one of his hands with my legs, and then I put him to sleep. And then when I put him to sleep, that was my next thought is, oh God, like, what did I just do? Like, because this was also during the time, I don't know if you're familiar with the character named Daniel Penny. Daniel
No.
Penny. Daniel Penny is very well known in America. You can look him up after this. This actually happened around the same time period, the same time frame as that case with Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny is a white guy in New York who jumped on similar thing to me, but the guy, I don't know the full ins and outs of the story, but the guy was a white guy, jumped on a black guy, choked him unconscious, and because he was like attacking or somebody or being rowdy on the subway, but he
Yep.
choked the guy unconscious and killed him, like,
Oh, this
didn't
was
let the
in New
choke
York.
go.
I do remember this.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
not let
Yeah.
the choke go, and this yeah, and so that happened before a couple weeks or a couple months before this happened to me, and so when I choked the guy unconscious, that was my next thought is, "Oh god, am I the next Daniel Penny?" Like, what's gonna happen to me because of now the situation that I'm in, Like, hopefully this guy just wakes up. And he did because I'm no, as soon as I choked him unconscious, I let him go. As soon as he went to sleep, I let him go. And he woke back up and he tried to sit up, but I had both of his arms trapped and I was on his back. He tried to sit up and I pushed him down on the chest and I was like, "Yo, dude, chill, like relax. We're gonna hang out till the cops get here. You were just beating on your girlfriend." And he's like, "Man, that's bullshit, man." And I'm like, "Oh God, like here we go. Now the guy's gonna be talking shit now forever." And I had to hold the guy for like 15 minutes until the cops got there. And the viral video portion of the video you see is when I grab the guy by the mouth and start shaking him around. That happened because I had to hold him for like 15 minutes. I was angry. I wanted to hit him, but I didn't want to go to jail. And so I was like trying to figure out in my head, what can I do to this guy to like get him to understand that I can really hurt him? And I'm
Yes.
like you're lucky that I'm choosing not to hurt you, you know? And so I was like, "Oh, I could just grab him like a little kid and shake him around on camera." And so that's what I did because I was very angry, and that was how I got my anger out in the moment without going to jail. And that's, and people loved it.
It was a fascinating video, Jordan, and as I said, you showed compassion. You didn't hurt the guy, and we both are martial artists. We train jujitsu, and the thing about martial arts is all martial arts have a place. Striking has a place. And the thing with jujitsu is it deals with an altercation in a more humane way. And especially in a bullying situation, like if a child is in a playground, if he hits the other kid, he gets suspended. So this is the power of jujitsu. How much of your training kicked in? So were you thinking, oh shit, I need to be careful. I don't want to strike. But was it just instinctive?
Complete instinctive. I've never learned
Wow.
this technique ever in my life. It was essentially kinda like an arm drag, but it wasn't really like an arm drag. So for an arm drag, you usually grab the same side wrist, and then you reach through and you drag, right? I seen his right hand reaching for his pocket, so with my right hand, I reached and grabbed his hand and just pulled it down to the floor, and then I grabbed it with 2 hands and just pulled it down by our knees, like, down towards the floor, and when I did that, since I cross grabbed his hand, that pulled his posture over and essentially did almost like an arm drag,
Yeah.
right? And that it just brought his neck right in front of me like a gift. It just pulled I never it's not like I intended to jump on his back and choke him. Like I said, I thought I was gonna run over there and just hit him. But fight or flight instincts kicked in, and immediately I feared for my life, which was kind of unnecessary because the guy ended up he might have been homeless or like a drug addict or alcoholic or guy was not in a good place in his life. I highly doubt he had any type of weapon in his pocket. But in the
Yeah.
moment, that's what my brain registered it as is, oh, he's reaching in his pocket. I have to nullify that threat. And so I grabbed his hand and just yanked it down to the floor
Yes.
and then yeah, his neck was in front of me. I know what to do when somebody's neck's in front of me, so I just grabbed it and choked him, like, right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he end up having a weapon, Jordan?
I don't know. I didn't pat the guy down. I helped the cops arrest the guy, but I didn't see his pat down. I didn't see what they found in his pockets. But if I had to guess, no, I don't think the guy was actually reaching for him. I don't think he was actually going for his pocket. That's just how he squared up.
Yes.
You know, like a lot of people square up like this, like they drop their hands by their sides
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Well, yeah, I don't think he was actually reaching for a weapon, but in the moment, that's how my brain registered it. And it ended up working out well for me because if not, I was just going to hit the guy and we
Uh,
would have been in an actual fight. Because I fight MMA as well, at least I
yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
I fought amateur MMA. I've trained MMA with Extreme Couture with the pro team for like 2 or 3 years. I was sparring at the UFC Performance Institute with like guys like Thomas Almeida and Cody
Wow.
Garbrandt. Like, so I know how to bang with the best of the best. Like I'm very confident in my stand up striking, especially against an opponent who doesn't train. Like,
Yes.
um, and the nice thing about that is every single fight I see jujitsu as a byproduct of fighting, right? In boxing, the referee needs to be there because a clinch is established every 15, 20, 30 seconds to a minute. Whether they want to or not, they end up colliding, clinching, and then now they're dirty boxing and they have to be separated. That's jujitsu, right? I'm going to fight with you until we grab each other just by two forces colliding. And now once we're grabbing each other, boom, the fight's over. It's done. I know what to do. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it ended up working out because I didn't it was probably better for me not to actually hit the guy, and I didn't have to actually hurt the guy, and I just used
Yeah.
my jujitsu, so yeah, everything
And
worked out.
And I saw the full video on YouTube, and I think a lot of people need to go watch that video
Nice.
because, yeah, they only saw little snippets on Instagram.
Yeah.
And, you know, at one stage you had him in a figure four body lock, a body triangle. And then he was complaining about not being able to breathe. And then you
He
loosened
could
up.
breathe,
And what
and
really
I
annoyed
loosened it
me,
up because I was worried, bro. If you want, yeah, I'm cool. It's cool you watched that 10-minute video so
I
you
watched
can
the full
see.
one.
You
Mm,
can see and there was actually more than that because a little bit happened before that and a little bit happened after that, but that 10-minute is the majority of what happened there, and yeah, the guy was complaining that he couldn't breathe and saying that it hurt. I was not squeezing the guy. I was holding him very loose, even in the body triangle, and then, yeah, I loosened it up because I was showing compassion to the guy for whatever reason, but my compassion was more of fear, if that makes any type of sense.
yeah.
I didn't wanna go to jail. I
Yep.
didn't wanna go to jail, and that's why everything was also being recorded so that if push came to shove and we went to the courts, we could show the courts and the jury or whoever, the judge, we could
Yeah.
show everybody, look at this guy. He was not trying to hurt him. Obviously, he was not trying to hurt him. Look, he said he was hurting. He loosened up on him. He wasn't choking him. He could breathe. He showed his hands like, look, dude, you can breathe just fine. That's why everybody's like, oh, you were showing off your tattoo. I have a tattoo. It's on my forearm. It just so happens to be here. If I put my hands up like this, it looks, oh, he's showing. I'm not, wasn't showing my tattoo off. I was
Yeah.
showing that the guy could breathe to the
Yep.
potential judge or jury that I was worried about. I
Yeah.
didn't, I, I didn't, because the whole Daniel Penny thing was going on. I'm like, I
Yeah.
am not going to be the next Daniel Penny. This guy is fine. He can breathe. He is not hurt. He's fine. So that's why I
Yes.
kept putting my hands up like this. That's to show everybody around me the guy is not being hurt. I'm not hurting him.
Yeah. And what was his reaction when you jumped on his back, choked him out? He woke up. He must have been thinking, "Oh fuck, this guy's trained."
I don't know what that guy was thinking, man. He knew he knew that he was not getting out because like another funny part of the story, there was a couple guys around and they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything, but if you watch that full 10-minute video, there's like 3 dudes there and they're
Mm,
talking. There's like 2 of them that are his buddies and then there's another black dude helping me hold him down on his knees. And they all came by after I choked the dude out, after the situation was already handled. The
mm,
situation's already completely under control, and then that guy came up and he's like, "Hey man, don't worry. I'm a security cop at the mall. I'm a security guard at the mall." And I was like, "Bro, like you're fine, dude. Like I've got this guy." And he's like,
yeah.
"Turn on your stomach. Turn on your stomach." And I'm like, no, bro, he's not turning on his stomach. I'm not gonna put this guy belly down, and I'm not letting go of this body triangle because then a scramble could happen. Like, I've got this under control, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you see in the video, I'm like smiling at the guy, like shaking my head at him, and I'm like, nah, bro, like he can't turn on his stomach. Like, he's fine. And then the guy that I'm holding, the woman beater guy, he talks to the guy on his knees, and he's like, yeah, what he said, I'm not going nowhere. Like,
And
so
and
the
to be
guy knew
honest,
the guy knew he was trapped. He wasn't gonna go nowhere.
yeah, and to be honest too, Jordan, this is a perfect representation of jiu-jitsu. And I'm sure you've seen the viral video of Andrew Tate where he's talking about BJJ is useless, never go to the ground against multiple attackers. If
Which
they
I do
pull out
agree
a
with.
knife, things like that.
I do agree with these
Yeah,
arguments.
everybody agrees. It's a death sentence to go to the ground regardless if you train any sort of martial art. But the thing about this video is you need to understand the spectrum of violence and the
Exactly.
laws, because do you really want to be doing a 50 move kata on someone's head? And for a one-on-one situation, sometimes the fight goes to the ground. And if the fight goes to the ground, you need to learn how to protect yourself. But this is the beautiful thing about this video is you deal with it in a humane way,
Mhm.
because there's a level of violence on how much we can inflict on somebody.